We asked AI, why does TYT sound like they are going against their progressive ideals and beliefs? With Mondale Robinson leaving the ranks of TYT, a special paid contributor explained that Cenk and Anna have turned their backs, or at the least made adjustments to the core progressive principles that make them a part of the last bastion to defend democracy. Have they made adjustments, or have they turned their backs to support Donald Trump? The Young Turks, TYT, may sometimes sound like they are pandering to the Republican base for a few reasons, though it's important to understand that their core audience is generally more left-leaning. However, TYT has taken steps to broaden their appeal and connect with a wider spectrum of viewers, including conservatives, particularly on certain issues. Here are a few factors that could contribute to this perception. Criticism of establishment. Democrats. TYT is often critical of mainstream Democratic politicians, including figures like Joe Biden and establishment figures who they argue are too aligned with corporate interests. This sometimes puts them at odds with the Democratic Party's mainstream views and may make them sound more in line with populist anti-establishment rhetoric that resonates with disillusioned Republican voters. Populist messaging. TYT has embraced populist themes, which can sometimes overlap with the types of messages that appeal to both conservative and progressive voters. They often focus on issues like corporate corruption, government overreach, and media bias, topics that can draw attention from people across the political spectrum, including the right. Economic populism. TYT's criticism of corporate America and their focus on economic inequality aligns with populist messages that are appealing to some Republicans, particularly those in the Trump populist wing who oppose big business and favor protectionist policies. Appealing to disillusioned voters by highlighting corruption or overreach in both parties, TYT can sometimes sound like they are catering to right-leaning individuals who feel let down by both the Republican and Democratic establishments. This can lead to a perception that they are pandering to conservatives, even though TYT's broader platform is still progressive. Cross-issue criticism. On certain issues like civil liberties, surveillance, or foreign interventions, TYT's criticism of government actions might align with conservative viewpoints. For instance, their opposition to endless wars or government surveillance might echo the more libertarian or anti-establishment wing of the Republican Party. Appeals to free speech and media bias. TYT often critiques mainstream media, which sometimes resonates with the narrative pushed by some Republicans about fake news or media bias. This can make their rhetoric seem closer to that of conservative talking points, even if their ultimate political goals are different. Strategic positioning for audience growth. TYT might shift their tone or messaging to appeal to a broader audience, especially when they perceive a political moment where pushing back against certain trends, like corporate Democrats or mainstream media, could gain traction with a larger portion of the public. This can sometimes sound like they're appealing to the right, even though their ideological roots remain left-wing. Overall, while TYT may occasionally use rhetoric that sounds like it aligns with some conservative talking points, their overall stance is still firmly progressive, even if they attempt to reach people across the political spectrum with common critiques. They often position themselves as anti-establishment, which can make their messaging more versatile and appealing to various ideological groups. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Stay humble and stay safe. We will see you all soon on another episode of We Ask AI.